Sachiranandan Tribhuvane Koreja Charanavandan. All glories to Jagannath and Sachi's son. This story takes place when Nimai is a small boy and he's visited in his house by a brahmana, a traveling brahmana, who for many lifetimes has been taking darshan and is again getting darshan. So this is Nimai and the brahmana.
Krishna 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 Re 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 Rama Re Rama 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 Re Re.
Oh, my dear Brahmana, will you please come to my house and allow me to serve you some prasadam?
Thank you for the kind invitation, but I will only eat after preparing an offering for my Gopal deity.
Not worry, I will arrange for everything.
Very well. May Gopal bless you. My dear Gopal, today I have been able to make such a nice offering for you. Please come and eat it. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare, Rama 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare, Rama 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So yummy it is. So yummy it is. So yummy it is. What? Stop! Jagannath Mishra, help me!
Nimai, how could you? You'll be punished now.
Mishra-ji, please calm down.
I'm sorry, Nimai has never done anything like this before.
It's all right. He is just a child.
Please prepare another offering.
Very well. I am simply Gopal's servant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Hare, Rama 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 Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Hare, Rama 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 Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Hare, Rama Rama Rama. Hey, again? Jagannath Mishra, he's again spoiling the offering!
You rascal! Now you will not escape me.
Mishra-ji! Mishra-ji, please don't be so angry! It is the will of Gopal that I fast. Oh, beautiful boy, who are you?
I'm Vishwarupa, the elder son of Jagannath Mishra. My family is so lucky to have such a nice devotee in our house, but I have heard that you are fasting.
It's okay. I am used to eating forest roots and fruits.
There is a place in hell for a host who is not satisfied as guests. Please forgive us and cook again. We will all be so happy.
I will lock the doors and put Nimai to bed. He will not be able to disturb you anymore.
All right, I will cook again.
We will take rest now, but let us know if you need anything else.
Okay.
This is the one they say I do.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare. Stop! Again! Guess you just don't want an offering today.
My Dita, you're calling me go forward.
Oh my God!
You offer me sweet race. Why, Siren? Come on, eat it.
I didn't understand. Thank you for showing yourself to me. This will be yours.
This will be all secret. Don't tell anybody about this.
Yes, my lord.
Just keep worshiping Gopal.
You had favored me by accepting my offering. I'll carry this moment in my heart always. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Next we have our little Sananda doing Mahaprabhu pastimes. Name of the topic is about Nimai and two thieves.
Hare Krishna, I'm going to tell a story of Nimai and thief. One day, Nimai was playing outside of his house. Then two thieves came. By seeing Nimai's gold ornaments, they wanted to take Nimai's gold ornaments. So they said to Nimai, Nimai, we haven't seen you for so long. Let us take you home. So then they were going. But then one thief was trying to take Nimai's gold ornament, but they could not because Nimai was the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then one thief gave him Nimai Sandesh. Then one thief said that we're almost there home. Then they thought that they're almost there to the hideout, but they were almost there to Nimai's house. So then when they thought that they were next to their hideout, they looked inside the house, and then it was Nimai's house. So then they remembered that Nimai was the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And they never did anything to Nimai again. Nimai Pandit Ki.
Hare Krishna. Next we have Krishna Chaitanya and Advait doing a presentation on Mahaprabhu's childhood and pastimes. One mic, guys. Otherwise everybody wants this one.
Well, just Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What? Sure.
your standing mic.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Childhood and Pastimes by Krishna and Advait.
So one of the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is that when the Lord was small, he would cry because he did not hear the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and then all the neighborhood like people, all the people who lived next to him, they would chant the Hare. They would try to appease him to not cry, but then he would still keep on crying. But then after that, they finally started chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and then after that, he stopped crying.
One day, when the Lord was enjoying playful sports with other children, Mother Sachi bought a dish filled with rice and sweetmeats and asked the child to sit down and eat them. But when she returned to her household duties, the child hid from his mother and began to eat dirt. Seeing this, Mother Sachi hastily returned and exclaimed, "What's this? What is this?" She snatched the dirt from the hands of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and inquired why he was eating it. Crying, Nimai asked his mother, "Why are you angry? You have always given me dirt to eat. What is my fault?" Rice, sweetmeats, and all other edible things are but transformations of dirt. This is dirt and that is dirt. Please consider what you are saying. What is the difference between them? This body is a transformation of dirt, and the edibles are also a transformation of dirt. Please reflect upon this. You are blaming me without consideration. What can I say?
Sachimata was really astonished that Nimai was speaking Mayavada philosophy. Sachimata asked, Who has taught you this philosophical speculation that justifies eating dirt? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Nimai started to explain that. Sachimata started to explain, my dear boy, if we eat earth transformed into grain, our body is nourished and it becomes strong. But if we eat dirt, which is not in its normal state, the body becomes diseased instead of nourished, and thus it will gradually get destroyed easily. So the example of that is a water pot, which is a transformation of dirt. Sachimata always brings water in that pot, but if he pours water in a lump of dirt, it will eventually wash away. The Lord replied to his mother, "Why do you conceal self-realization by not teaching me this practical philosophy in the beginning? Now that I understand this philosophy, no more shall I eat dirt when I'm hungry or not."
The story of deliverance of this Brahmana is as follows. As explained in the first skit, a Brahmana who was touring all over the country, traveling from one place to a pilgrimage to another, reached Navadvip and became a guest in the house of Jagannath Mishra. Jagannath Mishra gave him all the ingredients for cooking, and the Brahmana prepared his food. Okay. When the Brahmana was offering the food to Lord Vishnu, Child Nimai came before him and began to eat it. Because of this, Brahmana thought the Brahmana thought the offering had been spoiled, and therefore, by the request of Jagannath Mishra, he cooked for another time. But when he was meditating, the child again came before him and began to eat the food, again spoiling the offering. By the request of Jagannath Mishra, the Brahmana cooked for a third time. But for a third time, the Lord came before him and began to eat the food, although the child had been locked within a room and everyone was sleeping because it was late at night. Thus thinking that on that day Lord Vishnu was not willing to accept his food and that he was therefore ordained to fast, the Brahmana became greatly agitated and cried aloud, "Haya, Haya, what has been done? What has been done?"
When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw the Brahmana in the agitated state, he told her, "Formerly I was the son of Mother Yashoda. At that time, you also became a guest at the house of Nanda Maharaj, and I disturbed you in this way. I'm very much pleased by your devotion.
Thus I'm eating the offering you have prepared. Understanding that the favor offered to him by the Lord, the Brahmana was greatly pleased, and he was overwhelmed with love of Krishna. He was thankful to the Lord, for he felt himself greatly fortunate. Then the Lord asked the Brahmana to not disclose the incident to anyone else. Once on Ekadashi, in the house of Jagadisha and Hiranya Pandita, there were arrangements for preparing special prasadam for Lord Vishnu, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked his father to go there to ask for the Vishnu prasadam because he was feeling sick. The house of Jagadisha and Hiranya Pandita was situated about 2 miles from the house of Jagannath Mishra. Therefore, when Jagannath Mishra, on the request of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, came to ask Jagadisha and Hiranya for the prasadam, they were a little astonished. How could the boy understand that the special prasadam was being prepared for Vishnu? They immediately concluded that Nimai must have some supernatural mystic powers. Otherwise, how could he understand that they were preparing special prasadam? Therefore, they immediately sent the food to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to his father, Jagannath Mishra. Nimai was feeling sick, but immediately after eating the Vishnu prasadam, he was cured, and he also distributed the prasadam among his friends. Hare Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Hare Krishna, everyone. Today I'm going to be presenting about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. How do I do it? Who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the son of Jagannath Mishra and as his father, and Srimati Sachi Devi as his mother. Born under a neem tree, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is known as Nimai. Descended on this earth 500 years ago as Krishna himself. Part 1, main objective. To tell the glorious pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. How the glories of the glorious pastimes cause us devotees to advance spiritually in Krishna consciousness. This presentation also explains the meaning of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's achievements. Number 1, pastime. According to the stories, the Lord would cry when he woke up, and the ladies would begin chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, clapping their hands. In this way, the ladies of neighboring houses would assemble in the home of Sachi Mata to join the Sankirtana movement 24 hours a day. As long as the ladies continued to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the Lord would not cry, but would very pleasingly smile upon them. Drama number 1. Oh, okay, here. Baby Nimai just woken up from sleep, opening his lotus eyes. Oh no, baby Nimai is crying. What in the world shall Sachi Devi do? She then sang the holy names beautifully, which caused baby Nimai to be cheerful. Number 2 pastime. In his childhood pastime, while still an infant, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu turned upside down while laying on his bed and revealed to his parents the marks of his lotus feet. When he tried to walk, he showed the specific marks of Lord Vishnu through his footprints, namely the flag, thunderbolt, conch shell, disc, and fish. Sachi Devi observed the same marks on the lotus feet of the Lord while she fed the child, and she called Jagannath Mishra to show them. He became very happy and called Nilamara when he saw all the auspicious marks on the body of the child. He said, "This baby has all symptoms of Lord Narayana on his palms and soles. He will be able to deliver all the 3 worlds." At his name-giving ceremony, Nilamara said that the child would deliver the entire universe and named him Vishwabhama. Drama 2. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as an infant was lying down and revealed to his parents Jagannath Mishra and Srimati Sachi Devi. Baby Nimai had the namely footprints of the Lord. This is the last part of the presentation. In this part of the presentation, I will explain Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings and how they led others to advance spiritually in Krishna consciousness. Problem number 1, and how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu led us. None can solve the real problems of existence: repeated birth, old age, disease, and death. Time passed. The impact of these songs and pronouns faded. People forgot, and the inexorable problems of life in the material world continued, unabated. To solve these problems, we need to hear and vibrate words that are supramundane, words that inspire us at the deepest spiritual level. Such words do exist, and as described in the India's Vedic literatures as Shada Brahman, the absolute truth in the form of words or sound. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared as a devotee of Krishna in Mayapur, West Bengal, India in the late 15th century. He introduced Sankirtan, widespread chanting of the supreme persons, as the most effective means by which anyone can achieve spiritual perfection. By his influence, many of India's leading religious scholars and their followers became devotees of Krishna themselves. In his youth, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started a Sanskrit academy in Navadvipa, one of India's top learning centers of learning at the time, and earned a reputation as an excellent scholar. But at the age of 24, he renounced everything to travel the subcontinent, encouraging everyone he met to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings. Recited in the Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.32 and in the Chaitanya Charitamrita It reveals that in the age of Kali, an intelligent person performs congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who consistently sings the names of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. Also, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in his early ages, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu starts a school in Navadvip, and teachings based on the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam and the previous incarnations of Vishnu. What is Sankirtana? Dancing to the holy name and chanting in the form of kirtan in explicit joy. As I said, he teaches based on the Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam. What is the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Mission: continuing a special series of articles commemorating the 500th anniversary of Lord Chaitanya's appearance in Mayapur, West Bengal. By his life and teachings, he inaugurated the Hare Krishna movement. His mission was based on spreading Krishna consciousness around the world in the form of Sankirtana. And in effect, devotees advanced spiritually in Krishna consciousness, or non-devotees became devotees of the Lord. I would like to cite my sources to Krishna.com. And my inspiration would be coming from a noble person that I believe caused me to lead to present this presentation. Is no other than Harivilas Prabhu. My source of teachings, I would like to thank from the bottom of my heart Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada for lecturing us about Krishna and his incarnations. Gaurnitai Premananda Ki Jai.
Arjun, come. Madhuri, we need one more mic. One more mic for her. Here, I'll use this one. Okay. We have to be quiet. Because we're so obvious. Hi. I look so bad. Can you put the PowerPoint up? We need the PowerPoint up. Okay. Okay. Timing. Hare Krishna. So we will be talking about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's South Indian tour and his pastimes. Oh. Okay, yeah, next slide. Birth of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born on a full moon day on February 18th, 1486, at the time of the lunar eclipse in the holy Navadvip Dham under a neem tree. He was born as the second son to Mother Sachi and Jagannath Mishra. They named him Nimai because of his birth under a neem tree. His original name was Vishwambara. He is also referred to as Gauranga, meaning fair complexion. The name Chaitanya means living force.
One day, what do you call it? Nimai was playing with his friends, and he saw some puppies, and then he liked one of them, and then they were a really good one. So then his mom said, you have to take a bath, and then he took a bath, and then by the time he came back, it was not there. So then he was crying, and then after some time he found the puppy, and then puppy got liberated by chanting Hare Krishna, and jumping Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Next slide. Yeah. Kolavecha Sridhar, the banana seller. Who was Kolavecha Sridhar? He was a banana seller in Navadvip and was very poor. He sold his goods at a minimum price that was possible, used 50% of his profits to worship Mother Ganga. Nimai would offer half the price asked by Sridhar, and they would argue for hours like this, and then Nimai would finally take the goods without paying. The story of Kolavecha Sridhar. In the city of Navadvip, there lived a man named Sridhar. He was really poor. He sold bananas, and whatever money he got, he used it to offer to Mother Ganga. One day, Nimai came and he wanted bananas, and he came and asked Sridhara, "How much are these bananas?" And Sridhara would give a fair price, and Nimai would always ask him to give half the price. And Sridhara said, "No, I'm giving you a fair price. Why are you cheating me?" And they would argue for hours like this. Then finally Nimai said, "Okay, I will not give you anything." And he took the bananas without giving anything, and Sridhara would just smile. Since the Lord loved Sridhara so much, he would come every day, and since Sridhara loved Nimai too, he would always be waiting for Nimai to come and steal the bananas, and even though he didn't know he was God, he treated Nimai like he was. Then another day, Nimai came and asked Sridhara, "Why do you worship Krishna, and what does he do?" Then Sridhara replied, "I've been in this world a long time, and I have observed and want to tell you my observation. Whether one is a king living in a palace with magnificent clothes and eating fine foods, or whether one is a bird who just wears one set of feathers and lives in a little nest made out of grass and just eating some, little berries here and there. I don't see much difference between the two. Somehow or other, they both have what they need, and time is passing for both of them in the same way. They're both essentially just trying to do the same thing, trying to be happy. As far as I could see, they're both gods supplying for both of them." And by hearing this, Chaitanya revealed his form, and Sridhara realized who he was. And this is a picture of Sridhara, Blessed Mahaprakash. The Lord, during his Mahaprakash Leela, revealed his original form of Krishna and Balaram. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu granted Sridhara benedictions of kingdom and vast riches, but Sridhara said no. And then he offered Ashta Siddhi yogic power, and then Sridhara said no. And then he also offered liberation, but Sridhara also said no. Then finally Sridhara said, "Lord, if you must give me something, and if it pleases you, then I ask for this. In the core of my heart, let me never forget that little boy Nimai who used to take my banana products from me. Let him be my Lord, lifetime after lifetime. Let me simply be his servant life after life. This is my only desire. And as we all know from the Shikshashtakam verse, the Lord instructs us to aspire only for devotional service and for nothing else. Nadanam najanam nasundarim kavitam va jagadisha kamaye mama janmani janmanishware bhavatar bhaktirahaitu tvayi. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth.
So this is the story of Jagai and Madai. Jagai and Madai were once two Brahmin brothers, but due to bad association, they became total drunkards. It is said that there wasn't a single sin they have not committed. They were so sinful that when they would walk and they would fall on another person's shadow, they had to take a bath in the Ganga. One day, Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur were preaching to everyone as per Lord Chaitanya's instruction, and they came upon these two drunkards. At first, the drunkards thought, "Who are these two people? Why are they coming towards us?" Then Lord Nityananda approached Jagai and Madai and told them to please give up these sinful activities and chant Krishna's holy name. So hearing this, Jagai and Madai became so furious that they started chasing Lord Nityananda and Haridas Thakur around, running with raging anger. They finally came upon Lord Gauranga and asked for help. Seeing this, Lord Gauranga became angry and decided to kill the two brothers. By his divine mercy, Lord Nityananda stopped him and sought mercy upon Jagai Madai. Then the very next day, Haridas and Nityananda Prabhu went for another round of preaching, and again Jagai Madai saw them. And this time, when Nityananda Prabhu came there, Madai got mad and threw a pot at his face. Jagai stopped him, saying, "Why are you hurting him? Can't you see the love he has?" And when Mahaprabhu found out about this, he was enraged that they all rushed to see what happened. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was ready to kill him and got out his Sudarshan Chakra. Then Nityananda Prabhu stopped him, and Nityananda Prabhu told him that Madai hurt him, and Jagai stopped Madai from hurting Nityananda Prabhu, and thus they both were liberated. So this is the South India tour. So he traveled around the entire South India, but we are only covering two places, Srirangam and Rajahmundry.
Srirangam is an island around in Trichy surrounded by the Kaveri River. Deity handed from Brahma, Surya, Ikshvaku, Rama, Vibhishana ended up in Srirangam. The most important temple of the Sri Vaishnavas known as Periya Kovil. Bhuloka Vaikunta is a replica of Vaikunta. 52 sanctums, several gopuras, Ranganatha, Ranganayaki. All the acharyas have lived here. There's a special deity of Ramanuja and Brahmotsavam Arayar Seva special. Lord Chaitanya meets Venkata Bhatta, blesses Gopal Bhatta. Conversation between Venkata Bhatta and Lord Chaitanya. Hand-carved deities of Lord Chaitanya, homes still preserved, and Venkata Bhatta's descendants still live there. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appreciates the Brahmana reading the Bhagavad Gita.
So this is Rajahmundry, the meeting of Ramanandaraya and Mahaprabhu. So this was the temple that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramanandaraya met each other. Next. So this is the meeting of Mahaprabhu and Ramanandaraya in Sri Ramananda Gaudiya Mutt, Kovur. Some other places he visited were Sri Goshapada, where Saint Gautama Rishi lived, Sri Varada Gopal Temple in Kovur, and Sri Lakshmi Narasimha Swami Temple, Antarvedi, a very important temple of Lord Narasimhadev.
Hare Krishna, thank you. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai.
Thank you. Next, we have a 3D presentation of Mahaprabhu's lifetime by Tanvi, Shivani, Vishaka, and Pranjal. We will display each milestone in the display. You can feel free to take a look later. It will be presented somewhere in one of the tables.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today we will be presenting to you a 3D timeline of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life and pastimes. This timeline will show you the inspiring journey of his life from his birth and early childhood to his major accomplishments and later years. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born on the full moon night of February 18th, 1486, on the night of a full lunar eclipse. He took birth in the holy place of Mayapur, specifically under a neem tree. Okay. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Oh, Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today we will be presenting to you a 3D timeline of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life and pastimes. This timeline will show you the inspiring journey of his life from his birth and early childhood to his major accomplishments and later years. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born on the full moon night of February 18th, 1486, on the night of a full lunar eclipse. He was born in the holy place of Mayapur Dham, specifically under a neem tree. Thus he was called Nimai for the majority of his life. On the day of his Annaprashan ceremony, on August 1486, when Nimai was about 6 months old, it was a tradition that he would be placed next to the Bhagavatam or the money. They believed that his choice would decide what he would do for the majority of his life. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ended up choosing the Bhagavatam over the money. This was the beginning of the miracles he would yet create in his life.
In the year of 1494, when Nimai was 8 years old, he started to go to school under Gangadas Pandit in Ganganagar. Apart from learning in school, he used to study the scriptures on his own. When he was 10 years old, 2 years after he started going to school, he became an expert in Sanskrit grammar, rhetoric, the Vedas, and logic. In the year of 1500, now that Nimai was a very learned scholar, he married Srimati Lakshmipriya, who was when he was 14. And Srimati Lakshmipriya agreed because he was a very learned scholar. And many high caste Brahmanas were afraid to confront him as he had vast knowledge on all the scriptures. 3 years after his marriage, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was 17 years old, he traveled to Gaya in 1503. It was there that he met Ishwarapuri. After meeting him, he requested him to make him his disciple, and Ishwarapuri agreed. It was in the year of 1503 that Ishwarapuri initiated Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with the Gopal Krishna mantra in the holy Dham of Gaya.
After his initiation, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu set out to spread the glories of the holy name. Along the way, he faced a problem with Chand Kazi, a Muslim who was against Sankirtan and the holy name. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu converted Chand Kazi into a pure devotee of the Lord. Number 7. In the year of 1510, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the sannyasa order of life and he started to preach. Number 8. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was 28, in the year of 1514, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met Rupa and Sanatana Goswami in Bengal.
After traveling to and from Jagannath Puri, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu finally fixed his residence at Jagannath Puri. This took place at the year of 1516. For Chaitanya Mahaprabhu moved to Jagannath Puri for the remaining 18 years of his life. In this remaining 18 years, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mainly chanted Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare with his devotees. It was time for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to leave this world. There are many theories of how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had left this world, but it states in the Chaitanya Charitamrita that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left this world by walking into the sea in a state of divine ecstasy. We hope we illustrated Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life and his pastimes well. We also hope that we illustrated the miracles that made up his journey. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening, and Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki.
Thank you. Next, we have a presentation, iMovie presentation by Sunidhi and Riya. They have taken help and assistance from the parents to get this done. It will be displayed on the display.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a great saint and devotee of Sri Krishna. He popularized the process of Nam Sankirtan, congregational chanting of the holy names of Lord, which is very simple yet extremely powerful technique for increasing love for God. He appeared on the full moon night of February 18th, 1486, at the time of lunar eclipse in the town of Navadvip in Nadia district of West Bengal. He was the 10th child of Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Devi. He was called Nimai in his childhood since he was born under a neem tree. He was also known as Gauranga because of his exceedingly fair complexion. When he was an infant, he sometimes used to weep continuously, and when the neighboring woman would only chant Hari Bol, then he would only stop. Once the Lord delivered a Brahmana who was a guest in the house of Jagannath Mishra. The strict Brahmana had the habit of personally preparing food and offering it to the deity. The Brahmana requested Jagannath Mishra to permit him to perform his daily ritual. Jagannath Mishra gave the Brahmana all the food ingredients for cooking. The Brahmana had finished his cooking and was about to offer the food to Lord Vishnu when the child Nimai came and ate the unoffered food. The Brahmana felt the whole offering had been spoiled. Thereafter, by the request of Jagannath Mishra, he cooked for the second time. But again the child came and ate it. Yet again, by the request of Jagannath Mishra, he cooked for the third time. But on the third time, although he had been locked in a room,
the Lord came before him and began to eat the food. Thinking on that day Lord Vishnu was not willing to accept his offering, the Brahmana cried aloud in lamentation and decided to fast. By that time everyone was fast asleep. Then child Nimai then revealed to him, "Formerly I was the son of Mother Yashoda. At that time too you became a guest in the house of Nanda Maharaj, and I disturbed you in this way. I am very much pleased by your devotion. Therefore, I am eating the food you have prepared." Nimai then showed to the Brahmana his form as Krishna. The Brahmana was wonderstruck. He felt beholden and greatly fortunate.
Girls, 10 or 12 years old, would go to the bank of the river Ganges to take their bath. They would especially worship Lord Shiva with prayers to get good husbands in the future. When the girls engaged in worshiping the different demigods after bathing in the river Ganges, the young lord would come there and sit among them. He would say, "Worship me, and I shall give you good husbands or good benedictions. The Ganges and Goddess Durga are my maid servants. What to speak of other demigods? Even Lord Shiva is my servant. Without their permission, the Lord would take sandalwood pulp and smear it on his own body, put flower garlands on his own neck, and snatch all the offerings of sweet meats, rice, and bananas. The Lord then would benedict them to get good husbands. Characteristically, the girls, though inwardly happy, would express annoyance. To some girls who would run away, he would say that if they were to be miserly in offering him their food, they would end up with husbands with at least 4 wives. The frightened girls would hurry back and offer their food to the Lord, and he would then bless them to their heart's content.
PowerPoint presentation by Kavya, Avanija, Samyukta, Niharika and Murli on Mahaprakash Leela. And Murli, yes.
No, Niharika, stand in front of the mic. Nancy, we go. I'll give her this mic when she's ready. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none other than Krishna himself in the mood of his dear devotee Srimati Radharani. It is confirmed in many scriptures about the fact It is confirmed in many scriptures about the fact that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's none is Krishna himself, such as Srimad Bhagavatam, Garuda Puran, Padma Puran, Vishnu Sahasranam, and many other scriptures. In Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.32, it is mentioned that in the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the names of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He's accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. What is Mahaprakash Leela? Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never disclosed to anyone that he is a Supreme Lord Krishna, and he used to close his ears saying Hari Hari when someone addressed him to be the Supreme Lord. One day in Srivas Thakur's house, in the midst of kirtan and dancing, Lord Chaitanya decided to fulfill the heart desires of his most intimate associates by relieving the beautiful form that was the object of their worship. This is called Mahaprakash Leela, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu relieved his opulences as the Supreme Personality of Godhead for 21 continuous hours. He satisfied all the desires of all the devotees in an extraordinary way that was never been here or before seen or heard. Now we're going to share the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's interactions with devotees and how he fulfilled their desires.
Dukhi. One day, Lord Chaitanya came to Srivas Thakur's house and began kirtan and personally danced. Then Lord Chaitanya did something that he had never done before. In the middle of the kirtan, he ascended the throne of Lord Vishnu on the altar and personally sat on his throne and placed the Shalagam Shilas in his lap. He then expressed his desire to his devotees that they should perform Abhishekam. Devotees splashed in ecstasy and began making all arrangements by bringing thousands of pots of water from Ganga to bathe the body of the Lord, while chanting Pursha Shakta prayers. Meanwhile, there was a very simple maidservant in the house with the name Dukhi, who was carrying water from the Ganga and very nicely arranging the pots in nice lines to make it easy for the devotees to take the water for the Abhishek. She was just assisting the Vaishnavas in the most menial way, without any desire to get fame or recognition. No one even noticed her except one person, Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya asked Srivas Thakur, "What is her name?" Srivas Thakur replied, "She is Dukhi." Now Dukhi means distressed. Lord Chaitanya said, "This name doesn't seem right for her. Today I give her the name Sukhi, which means the happy one." And upon giving her that name, ecstatic love of Godhead entered her heart, and she actually became eternally Sukhi, the blissful one. Here we see that just because she was being the servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord in a state of humility and pridelessness, the Lord awarded her the highest perfection of life, which cannot be achieved by great rishis and kings, and even which the demigods long for. Through this pastime, the Lord taught the world that he doesn't consider any material qualification. All that pleases the Lord is a humble heart and eagerness to be the servant of the devotees.
The devotees bathed the Lord with thousands of pots of water and personally dried his body, offered silk garments, scented oils, achamanam, and all the other ingredients for the worship of the deities. The Lord requested to make the Bhoga offering. Whatever they offered, he ate it all up. The devotees brought thousands of pots of condensed milk, yogurt, and 10,000 of bananas. He ate it immediately. They brought thousands of pots of Ganga water, and he drank it all up in a moment. And this way the devotee's desires to serve the Lord was fulfilled. He was revealing to them their past lives and his form which they loved in their hearts.
Shivas Thakur. Lord Chaitanya called on Shivas Thakur and said, Shivas, do you remember? Years and years ago, you were at the school of Devananda Pandit, and he was reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, and you were hearing the verses. You were so moved with the love for Krishna, and you started to cry. And uncontrollably, you called out. And the students considered you as a disturbance. They picked you up and dropped you on the ground outside. Don't you remember this, Shivas? And then because you felt sad, so sad, you went home and started to read Srimad Bhagavatam to somehow or other transcend that sadness. And as you were reading Srimad Bhagavatam, such a deep ananda of love awakened in your heart, and it was uncontrollable. Since that day, every time you pick up the Bhagavatam and read, tears flow from your eyes and you experience ecstatic love for Krishna, total absorption in Krishna. He said, I am the one who gave you that feeling. Every time you read Srimad Bhagavatam, I personally enter your heart and fill it with love for Krishna. When Shivas heard that, he was overwhelmed and fell to the Lord.
Gangadas Pandit. Then the Lord turned to Gangadas Pandit, his own teacher. He said, Gangadas, do you remember many years ago, even before I was born, when the Muslim king was sending troops to plunder the people of Navadvipa, and they were chasing after you and your family? You ran away. You ran and ran and ran, and ultimately came to the bank of Ganga. By the time you got there, it was middle of the night, and the plunderers and murderers were fast approaching. There was no boat, and the Ganga was very wide and flowing very strong. You were crying. You decided, rather than allow these people to harm your wife, your daughters, your family, and the way they would, you would drown yourself in the Ganga. At that moment, a boatman out of nowhere came out of the darkness, and you said, Boatman, please save me. Save my family. I'll give you anything you want. And the boatman brought you to the other side. Gangadas, you never told anyone that story, but I know because I descended from the spiritual world just to become that boatman just to save you. Hearing this, Gangadas was thrilled, overflowing with gratitude.
Sridhar. Lord Chaitanya then asked for Sridhar's. Devotees said, Who is Sridhar? Lord Chaitanya replied, He is my loving devotee. Nobody even knows who he is. He is a simple banana leaf seller. He is such a dear devotee. For 12 hours continuously, every night he cries out the name of Krishna. Just go towards Simanta Dvipa at the edge of Navadvipa town, and you will hear his voice. Just follow that sound and you will find him. The devotees went running, and sure enough they heard from a distance a very humble cry of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. They went to Sridhar and they said, Sridhar, Lord Chaitanya is calling for you. Sridhar was so humble, and felt so unqualified, he fell to the ground. They had to actually lift him up and practically carry him to Lord Chaitanya. The Lord said, Kolavecha Sridhar, you have given me such nice bananas for so many years, and I would not eat a single meal which was not offered on a banana leaf you gave me. Now I want to reveal myself to you. Look. Sridhar looked up, and he saw that Sri Chaitanya's form. became that of Krishna, the same Shyam Sundara who was the eternal object of Sridhar's love and devotion. He had beautiful lotus-like eyes, curly black hairs, red lips like a bimba fruit, and Kaushtabya jewel on his chest. On his side was Lord Balaram, with the complexion of spring clouds. He saw Brahma, Shiva, Lakshmi, Narada, and Sukadev, the 4 Kumaras, all with their hands folded, offering beautiful prayers to Krishna and Balaram. Kolavecha Sridhar, seeing upon this beautiful darshan, the ultimate object of his meditation, he fainted in divine ecstasy. And Lord Chaitanya said, "Sridhar, get up. Behold my beautiful form." Lord Chaitanya began to recount the wonderful pastimes that he had with Sridhar when he was a young boy, for everyone to hear. Every day Nimai would come and bargain the price for bananas with Sridhar, who was already selling them for the least price possible. And at the end, Nimai would take them for free. Nimai would pass such remarks and tease Sridhar that Sridhar would block his ears. Yet Sridhar loved Nimai as much as he did Krishna, without knowing he was Krishna. Until this day, Nimai never did anything but take and take from Sridhar. All Sridhar ever did was give, and give. But today, Lord Chaitanya desired to give everything to Sridhar. He told Sridhar to ask for any boon. He said, "I will give you anything." Sridhar said, "I don't want anything, my Lord." Lord Chaitanya said, "You are so poor. I will give you the riches of a king. I can give you kingdoms. I can give you planets. I can give you anything you like. Ask. Sridhar said, "What will I do with those things? I have no desire." Lord Chaitanya said, "I will give you the 8 mystic perfections by which you can perform incredible supernatural natural miracles to stay alive, and you can live for millions of years." Sridhar said, "Those would just be a disturbance to me. I don't want them." The Lord said, "I will give you liberation, mukti, what everybody is looking for. No more suffering, no more birth and death." Sridhar said, "My Lord, I have no interest in moksha." "Ask something," Lord Chaitanya said. "To make me happy, ask something." Sridhar said, "If it pleases you, I will ask for one benediction. Let me forever be the servant of your servants. And let in every birth that I have, and whatever it may be, in my heart, let me ever see this little boy Nimai coming to steal my bananas. Let me never forget you." Lord Chaitanya became so overwhelmed with love, his devotion, and the Lord was crying, and all the devotees were crying in tears. This pastime again shows that the Lord doesn't take into account any material qualifications or disqualifications, but is conquered by simplicity and purity of devotion.
Murari Gupta. Then Lord Chaitanya called for Murari Gupta. He said, "Murari, come and look." Murari looked up on the Simhasan where Lord Chaitanya was sitting. He saw his beloved Lord Ram with the beautiful complexion of the durva grass. Lord Ramachandra was accompanied with his bow and arrows. When Murari Gupta saw his beloved Lord Ram, he fell unconscious. The Lord touched him and said, "Murari, stand up, stand up. Don't you remember? Ravana, the demon who stole your worshipful Sita and brought her to Sri Lanka? You jumped across the ocean just to give her the message. There, when Ravana bound you with ropes and lit your tail with fire, and with that fire on your tail, you burned down his city? Look, on my one side is Lakshman. You lifted the mountain to save his life out of love for him. See, on my other side is Mother Sita, your beloved worshipful goddess. You don't remember? But I'm reminding you. I am Ram and you are my eternal servant Hanuman." Murari Gupta there he saw before him Ram, Sita and Lakshman. And then he looked down and noticed that he had a tail. He looked at his body and saw that he was a monkey. He was Hanuman. Lord Chaitanya said, Murari Gupta, ask for any boon. You are my beloved loving devotee. Murari, in the mood of Hanuman, the eternal Das, the servant of the Lord, he said, I don't want to ask anything from you. But if you want to give me something, give me the blessing of living in the company of your devotees. Those devotees who consider you as their master and themselves to be your humble, loving servant. My only aspiration, Lord, is to be the servant of the servant of the servant and always chant your holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Haridas Thakur. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then called Haridas Thakur. Haridas, do you remember when those demoniac, brutal killers were beating you with sticks, clubs, and whips? At that time, I had my Sudarshan Chakra and I was ready to sever the head of those demons. But the whole while, you're chanting my holy names. While you were chanting, your mind was fixed in one prayer. Please, my Lord, please forgive these people for all the abuse that they are inflicting upon me. Please be merciful to them and give them your loving service. Although I was so angry to kill them, the power of your forgiveness, compassion, and prayer was so much that my Sudarshan Chakra would not go out of my finger, and I had no power to release it. The power of your love for them defeated my power to kill them. Therefore, what was I to do? I couldn't just stand and watch you being beaten this way. So in order to protect you, I covered your body with my own, and I took all the beatings. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then opened his chadar and revealed to Haridas and to all the devotees all the terrible brutal marks on the beating on his own back. Haridas fell to the ground, weeping with transcendental love. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to Haridas, please ask me for some benediction. Haridas Thakur, with so much humility, began to explain, I am untouchable. I am completely wretched. And it's an embarrassment to even consider myself a Vaishnava. But your causeless mercy is so great, my Lord, that you have given me the association of your devotees. There is only one benediction that I desire, that birth after birth after birth, my Lord, I may always have the supreme fortune of receiving the remnants of this food from your devotees. That is all I ask. Even if I must take birth as a dog in the house of your Vaishnava to receive his food remnants, let me take that birth. Haridas Thakur personified Lord Chaitanya's prime teaching of Trinadapi suni chena tarorapi saheshuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. One must be humble like a blade of grass. Grass we step on the grass, we spit on it. Sometimes we do all other things on it. To be more humble than a blade of grass, be more tolerant than a tree, ready to offer all respects to others and to expect none for ourselves. Only in this consciousness and in no other consciousness can we constantly be chanting the holy name. It is because Haridas had such humility that he simply wanted the remnants from the Vaishnava, that the Lord gifted him with the power to constantly chant the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
After a while, Srivas approached Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and said, Sri Gauranga, you're giving everyone such a wonderful, special mercy, sharing everyone's heart with your love, but your dear devotee Mukunda, you're completely neglecting him. You'll not even look at his direction, and he's just behind this pillar, and he's weeping. Please call him forward and show him your mercy. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is always in the mood of fulfilling everyone's desires, he began speaking angrily. Wretch Mukunda, keep him away from me. He's an impostor and all nonsense. First he comes into the association of the devotees and he sings very sweetly my glories, and then he goes out and began to beat me with sticks
and he can cause pain to me, he begins to associate with the Mayavadis, those philosophers who declare the Lord has no arms, no legs, no eyes, and the Lord is formless, whose body is an illusion. When people speak this way, they're actually cutting off my legs, blinding my eyes, and cutting off my arms. Mukunda is such a person. Mukunda began to weep and cry. And he cried out, "My Lord, will you never ever give me your darshan again?" And the Lord replied in a loud voice, "After 10 million births, you'll see me again." Mukunda became so happy he began to dance in transcendental ecstasy, tears flowing from his eyes, soaking his clothes, saying, "Only 10 million births, only 10 million births, and I'll be able to see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again." At that time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, seeing the humility, faith, and eagerness of Mukunda, he immediately asked him to be brought forward. Mukunda was in so much ecstasy, the devotees had to actually pick him up and carry him to the Lord. The Lord was pleased that Mukunda was content without any results for his devotional service. He was ready to go on surrendering to the Lord, serving the Lord, and pleasing the Lord's devotees for 10 million births, as long as he knew that someday the Lord will be merciful to him, this unconditional love. Mukunda Datta, in a very humble state of mind, offered wonderful prayers to the Lord about how the Lord can only be seen by pure devotion. Lord Chaitanya, being pleased by Mukunda's humility, benedicted him in the following way: "Whenever you sing, I'll place pure devotion in your heart, and your singing will melt all the assembled devotees' hearts. You'll be dear to the Vaishnavas, all living entities, and whenever I descend, you'll be my favorite singer to chant the holy name." Now, the conclusion of the Mahaprakash Leela was Lord Chaitanya calling Shiva's little niece, Narayani. She was only 4 years old that time. Lord Chaitanya wanted to show everyone the power of his grace. He personally fed her his own Mahaprasad. He said to her, "Narayani, chant the names of Krishna with ecstatic love." And little Narayani, upon seeing the beautiful form of Gauranga, began to cry with a choked up voice, screamed at the name, "Krishna, Krishna." She fell to the floor, rolling, trembling, and crying, showing all symptoms of love. Little Narayani was not a great scholar or a great yogi, but receiving the grace of the Lord, she attained perfection within a moment. We receive blessings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when we do devotional service in a humble state of mind. Chanting the holy names of the Lord with full attention will purify our heart and enable us to perform devotional service. Devotional service is a service or action which is performed only to please the Lord with no self-motivation. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Thank you, kids. Next we have a presentation by Sai Krishna. A speech, basically.
ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नितिनामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणी. Hare Krishna. So I'll be speaking about the significance of Lord Chaitanya's appearance and why it is different from all the other incarnations of Lord Krishna. So who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the divine incarnation of Sri Sri Radha and Krishna in the mood of pure devotional service. And Lord Krishna, he took up the complexion of Sri Sri Radharani and he took up her mood also of devotional service. But there's a very significant purpose to Lord Chaitanya's appearance in this material world. And it's related to Lord Krishna's appearance in Dwapar Yuga. Like Lord Krishna, when he, gave the knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, he presented the processes of devotional service, karma kanda, karma yoga, all these things in a very theoretical manner, right? And so when Krishna ended these pastimes upon this material world, he thought of the people of Kali. The people of Kali were very, degraded. They were all so fallen. They were all hypothetical, and he knew that they won't follow the teachings in the Bhagavad Gita. So he decided to ascend himself in the material world as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to practically implement these knowledge principles and show everybody what a pure devotee should be like. And so Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ascended himself in the house of Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Mata. And so I'll give the three points of the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life. The first point is he showed brilliant principles and amazing pastimes to the people of Nadia. And the first story I would like to do is the Brahmana story. There was once a Brahmana, and he was a Parivrajikacharya, a pilgrim, a devotee who moved across all pilgrimage, like places of holy places, and he came upon the house of Jagannath Mishra. And Jagannath Mishra invited him towards his household, and then the Brahmana said, Jagannath Mishra, I'll be satisfied if you give me some fruits, roots, simple things, because I live in the forest always. And Jagannath Mishra said, no, because you are a guest at my house, I'll offer you something very elegant, just for like rice, dal, things like that, so you'll be satisfied. And so the Brahmana said, okay, can you give me the preparations? So I'll make the preparations and offer to the Gopal deity and honor the prasadam. And then Jagannath Mishra gave all the necessary ingredients for the preparations, and the Brahmana prepared everything and he offered it to his Gopal deity. And while he was offering, Nimai came and he started eating all the offerings. And then the Brahmana shouted aloud and he said, no, what are you doing, my child? This is for Krishna. This is not for you, right? And then hearing those shouts, Jagannath Mishra came and he said, what happened? What happened? And then the Brahmana said, your son has eaten all my offerings. And then Jagannath Mishra scolded Nimai and he took him away and he begged the Brahmana to do the offering once more. And then the Brahmana agreed, and then he did the offering once more with the same things. And then again, Nimai came while he was offering, and he ate all the preparations again. And then the Brahmana again, he shouted. Jagannath Mishra came, and he said, Nimai, what is this? The Brahmana is a guest at our house. You shouldn't be doing these things. And he reprimanded Nimai very much. And then he locked Nimai in a room this time. And he put him to sleep so he won't disturb. And he begged last time to the Brahmana, my dear Brahmana, please, I'm so sorry for all these disturbances. Please make it one last time. And then he made it again, the Brahmana again. And once more, Nimai came and started eating the preparations. And then the Brahman said, Krishna doesn't want me to eat anymore today. He wants me to eat fruits and roots today. And then he asked the Nimai, why are you doing these things? Why are you doing something like this? And then the Brahmana said, Nimai said, you're calling me. How can I refuse not to come? You're calling me for a long time. I have to come to and reply. And then the Brahmana said, no, I'm calling Krishna, not you. And then Nimai displayed his form towards the Brahmana, and the Brahmana got very, very much delighted, and he started offering so many obeisances and ate the prasadam very nicely. And Nimai said, this particular event is very, very confidential. Please don't tell it to anybody. And then the Brahmana, he happily ate the prasadam and he went on to his pilgrimage. And this displays Nimai's mystical potency and how he uses that potency to enlighten the devotees. And the second point is how he gave the gift of love, the gift of pure devotional service to everyone. Like all the other incarnations, they come for a specific purpose. Like Narasimhadev came to deliver Prahlad Maharaj. Lord Rama came to set an example for all the people in general. But Lord Chaitanya, nobody gave the gift of pure love. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the only incarnation. That's why he's so special. And there's another story that I'd like to narrate. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was about 5 or 6 years old, he was playing with his Brahmana friends. And they came upon a group of dogs, very cute dogs. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately went and took the best dog out of the group. And then the best puppy. And then the friends, they got jealous and said, Nimai, you took the best dogs and left the bad ones for us. What are we going to do? And then Nimai said, oh, it's okay. We'll play it together. We'll share everything, right? And so they started playing for some time, and another quarrel broke out. And the boy who started the quarrel went to Sachi Mata and said, Sachi Mata, your son Nimai is playing with dogs. Go tell him not to play with dogs. And then Sachi Mata ran to Nimai, took him away and said, Nimai, you're going to ruin your father's reputation. You're playing with lowly dogs. Your father is such an exalted devotee. You shouldn't be playing like this. And then Nimai started crying, and then Sachi Mata's heart softened out of the love, and then she kissed him, and then she gave him all nice things to eat. And then she told Nimai, go bathe in the Ganges, and I'll prepare some nice things for you. Go play in the Ganges. The puppy's going to be here. I'll keep him safe. And so Nimai went to the Ganges, and then Sachi Mata took the puppy and sent it away. And the puppy, and then a boy saw this. Another boy saw this, and he told Nimai, your Sachi Mata's taking the dog away. She's taking your dog away. Go do something. Nimai went to Sachi Mata, and then she said, Mother, why did you take it? I liked my puppy. Please. And then Sachi Mata said, oh no, Nimai, you shouldn't do these kind of things. It's okay. I will find another puppy tomorrow for you. It's okay. And Nimai got consoled. Meanwhile, that puppy that Nimai touched, it started chanting Krishna, Krishna, Govinda. And then all the devotees, the people of Nadia, saw that how is this dog chanting the holy names of the Lord? This is amazing. This is a miracle. And then they all came and they started doing Sankirtana with the puppy, and then the puppy fell dead. And then a golden chariot from the sky came down, took the puppy, and went back to the spiritual planets. And all the demigods says, praise Lord Chaitanya. He offered liberation to the lowliest of all creatures. So this is like the significance of Lord Chaitanya's appearance. It's so special. No incarnation ever offered this kind of love and pure devotion. And the last story I'd like to narrate is about the Sankirtan movement of the Lord. Like the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he did Sankirtan through day, through night. And one day when he was going to Vrindavan, he went to the Jharkhand forest. And it was a very large forest infested with lots of dangerous animals. And the Lord Chaitanya, he was doing Sankirtan along the way with his devotees. And then because of the Lord's mystical potency, the tiger, the deer, the monkeys, they started chanting too. They forgot their nature and they started chanting in holy names of the Lord. And then the devotees got so astonished. Oh my God, the Lord is offering so much mercy to everybody. So much Sankirtan movements. And then the tigers, the deer, they were hugging each other and in such pure ecstasy. So the Lord, he showed this wonderful pastimes of Nagar Sankirtan, and that's why he said to the people of Kali, Nagar Sankirtan is our dharma. We should do it always because it's the Yuga dharma of our age, and only by this way can one attain self-realization. Harer Nama, Hameva Kevalam, Kalo Nasteva Gatir Anyata. We should always chant. In this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, there's no other means for deliverance than to chant the holy name, chant the holy name, chant the holy name of the Lord. So let's all chant the holy name of the Lord and go back to Godhead. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sai. Next, we have a song by Aryan and Sai, Dhanamura Nityananda, and we request all of you to sing along with the kids. Violet? Okay, started work. Thank you.
Dhanamura Nityananda Pati Mora Gora Chandra Dhanamura Yugala Kishora Advaita Acharya Bala Gadadhara Morakula Narahari Vilasai Mora Vaishnavera pada dhuli Tahe mora snana keli Tarpan mora Vaishnavera nama Vichara koriya mone Bhakti rasa aswadane Madhyastashi Bhagavad Purana Vaishnavera ochesta Tahe mora mana nesta Vaishnavera namete ulasa Vrindavana chabutara Tahe mora mana ghera Kohe dina narottama dasa Dhanamura Nityananda Pati Mora Gaur Chandra Pranamura Yugala Kishora Dhanamura Nityananda Pati Mora Gora Chandra Dhanamura Yugala Kishora Lord Nityananda is my wealth. Lord Gaurachandra is my master. The youthful divine couple is my life. Advaita Charya is my strength. Gadadhar is my family. Naharahari Sarakara is my glory.
The dust of the devotees' lotus feet is my bathing water. The chanting of the devotees' names is my satisfaction. Considering the merits of all Vedic literatures in the light of devotional service, I have concluded that the Srimad Bhagavatam is the best of all scriptures.
My mind is firmly convinced of the spiritual benefit obtained by eating the remnants of foodstuff left by the devotees. The names of the devotees are my happiness. The land of Vrindavana is the enclosure within which I keep my mind. Puraharta Narottama Dasa speaks in this way. Haribo.
Yeah, thank you, Aryan and Sai. Next, we have a dance presentation by Rishika and Gopu.
चैतन्य निताय सुदृढ़ विश्वास कोरी भजो भजो भाई चैतन्य निताय सुदृढ़ विश्वास कोरी विषय छाड़िया सेरा से मजिया मुखे बोलो हरि हरि विषय छाड़िया सेरा से मजिया मुखे बोलो हरि हरि मुखे बोलो हरि हरि मुखे बोलो हरि हरि मुखे बोलो हरि हरि मुखे बोलो हरि हरि
Thank you, dear kids, for the presentation. And we would like to thank His Grace Harivilas Prabhu for giving this opportunity to all the kids and to all the parents who have equally put the effort with the kids for this presentation to happen. Okay. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Jai.